So now we are moving on to the International Speech Contest. And this is one of the highlights of the day, obviously. The winner of this contest advances on to regional competition. So this is a big deal, needless to say. But again, welcome everybody to the International Speech Contest here in District 77 today. I've already gone through the fine print, so I'm just going to go straight ahead to introducing our contest master today for the International Speech Contest. We really are incredibly fortunate to have a good friend of mine as contest master today. Her name is Beth Hargrove. Beth Hargrove has been a member of Toastmasters for 2 years. She is currently the VPE of Regions Evergreen Toastmasters Club, my home club again. She is a tireless worker in making sure Regions Evergreen is one of the best clubs in the district. Yes, Beth recently competed in a humorous speech contest this year, making it to the division round with her speech titled Possum Hunting. So fellow Toastmasters, I give you now our Possum Hunting contest master, Beth Hargrove.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am so honored to be the contest master today. I am so excited that I'm going to kick us off with a 2-hour speech on the history of grammar. In the 6th century BC. Wait, what? Oh, I'm being told to call that part of the agenda off due to the risk of people's heads falling off from boredom. My apologies. I'm sure you were sitting at the edge of your seat, but I can guarantee you these speeches will be truly worth sitting at the edge of your seats. A little bit more than the grammar one. These proceedings are designated to ensure that we run a fair contest and that each contestant is given a level playing field on which to compete. The following announcement is made in the interest of having a distraction-free environment for our contestants. Please mute your audio, which it sounds like we've done forcefully, so step check. Also avoid any unnecessary visual distractions by turning off your video. The chat feature is available if needed and will be monitored by one of the Zoom session hosts. The winner from... Can you hear me?
Yes, but we have a lot of feedback. Do you happen to have 2 applications open? Are you open on Hoova and Zoom by any chance?
Nope. Let me try this. Can you hear me any better?
Yes. It's not as echoey.
Okay.
Well, maybe. That's
Is someone else unmuted?
Nope, everybody else is muted.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Keep going.
Okay. Let's see if we can keep going then. I apologize. I cannot figure out why there's an echo. The headphones didn't seem to help or hurt, I guess. The chat feature is available if needed and will be monitored by one of the Zoom session associates. The winner from this contest will represent District 77 in the Region 8 video quarterfinals. And the top 2 from Region 8 will go on to the semifinals to be held later this summer at the 2021 Toastmasters International Convention to be held online. The International Speech Contest will consist of a series of timed 5 to 7 minute speeches that will be judged by a panel of judges. The contestants and the judges have certified their eligibility. The contest chair and the chief judge have confirmed the eligibility of the contestants and the judges. All the contestants have been briefed, not breached, sorry. All the contestants are present and we are ready to proceed with the contest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our chief judge for today's contest, Judith Kidd, DTM. Madam Chief Judge, have all the contest officials been briefed and are we ready to proceed with the contest?
Yes, Madam Contest Master, we are all ready to go. Let the contest begin.
Thank you. In order to allow the judges time to mark their judging forms, we will have 1 minute of silence, just like in the previous contest just now, after each contestant speech, and we will have silence after the last contestant speech until all ballots are collected. Timekeepers, will one of you signal me when 1 minute has elapsed between contestant speeches?
Yes, with a green screen, I will let you know.
Thank you. The the speaking order for the contest will be determined, or was determined earlier by having our contestants draw for position. The order of the contest will be first Crystal Ash, then Crystal Wilson, Travis Dent, fourth Charles Holly, and fifth Kaori Noma. Each contestant will be introduced only by his or her name and the title of the speech. I will then repeat the title of the speech and the contestant's name. All contestants may remain in the room during this contest. Are there any questions? If not, International Speech Contest will begin now. First contestant. Crystal Ash, are you present in the room and able to see the time and hear me?
Yes, Madam Contest Master.
Thank you. Crystal Ash, zipping through fear, Crystal Ash.
My knees were literally shaking. I could feel the anxiety coursing through my veins. What have I gotten myself into this time? Contest chair, Madam Contest Master, my fellow Toastmasters, and guests. It was my 33rd birthday, and I was prepared to face a few of my fears. This particular year, I was likening it to Ali and Frazier and the Rumble in the Jungle, and I was prepared to take down fear with a 1-2 knockout. Only as I stood here about to zip line for the first time with one of my friends, I was having second thoughts. I was starting to get that tingly feeling in my armpits that I've gotten since I was a little girl whenever I became afraid. My friend looked at me and she said, Crystal, on the count of 3, we're just gonna step off the ledge and go for it. And she said, 1, 2, 3, and she went sailing 1,000 foot across the wire. I was standing there and I could not move. My feet felt like cement blocks. On the walkie-talkie, I heard the other zipline instructor, and he said, all clear on line blue, all clear on line blue. And my zipline instructor said, we are going to be a minute. I was the minute. I was paralyzed with fear. But I had to zip line today. I said I was going to zip line today. I could not go back to my car. I had to think very fast about how I was going to do this. So I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I had an idea. I turned to the zipline instructor and I said, sir, is it possible for me to sit down and scoot off the ledge? He said, ma'am, whatever you need to do, go for it. So I sit down and I close my eyes because there's no possible way that I can actually watch this thing happen. And I slowly scoot off the ledge. I was doing it. I was ziplining and I was actually enjoying myself. And I got an opportunity to do it again. And today I want to share with you some key takeaways that I learned that day about zipping through fear from that experience. One, simply show up. Half of the battle of getting anything done is about taking that first step. If you never take that first step forward, you never get the opportunity to live the life of your dreams. If you never take that phone call about the interview, you never really get that dream career you thought of all of your life. If you never make that phone call to the one that you adore, maybe you miss out on a loving relationship that could have lasted a lifetime. If you miss those opportunities, fear then becomes a stumbling block to your progression. The second thing I learned that day was to get help. Oftentimes, we'll think that we have to face our fears alone, but life is all about connecting with others. Author Lovey Ajayi Jones says that we should loan our courage to others. And maybe your courage comes in the form of a word of encouragement from a family member or a friend, or maybe it's guidance or advice from a coach or mentor. Remember, there are people called to walk alongside you. So remember to get help. And thirdly, the most important thing I learned that day was do it your way. You may look out into the world and say to yourself, I could never accomplish that goal because everyone else is doing it a certain way. And I don't feel confident to do it that way. In that moment, you could flip fear over and allow it to become a catalyst for you to create something different, to become an innovator, a trendsetter, someone who creates a new way for everyone else to follow. I'm sure in Germany, Carl Benz, when he thought of this apparatus with wheels that would take people from place to place, people looked at him a little strange, may have even laughed at him. But now we all drive cars. So the next time you are faced with fear, how will you zip through it? I hope that you'll remember these key takeaways. Show up, get help, but most importantly, do it your way. Madam Contest Chair and Contest Master, thank you.
A moment of silence, please. Thank you for the minute of silence. Second contestant, Crystal Wilson. Are you present in the room and able to see the time and hear me?
Yes, Contest Chair.
Crystal Wilson, lessons learned from the zip line. Lessons learned from the zip line, Crystal Wilson.
Fellow Toastmasters, be honest. Are you tired? Are you burnt out? Do you need a break from school, work, or even Toastmasters? If so, then do what I did. Go travel. In 2014, when I finished my bachelor's of nursing, instead of going straight into the nursing profession with those 12 long hours, I decided that I was going to study abroad in Costa Rica for 3 months. I traveled all over the country of Costa Rica. However, one of my fondest memories was our trip to Monteverde. Now, Monteverde is known for having the beautiful evergreen cloud forests. Monteverde also has the longest zip line in Latin America. My friends and I, being the adventurers that we are, decided that we were going to hike up that mountain and glide along the beautiful canopy of Costa Rica's Monteverde. I was ready. I grabbed my yellow helmet, put it on top of this big old head of mine, put on my boots, grabbed my book bag, slung it around my shoulders, feeling like Dora the Explorer, so adventurous, and hiked up that mountain. I watched a tour guide gather all of the equipment to prepare us for this wonderful experience. He slowly reached for this harness, wrapped it around one shoulder, put it around the other shoulder, connected me securely to what appeared to be just this thin steel cable that was going to hold this weight of mine hundreds of feet above the air. He checked everything and asked me, "Are you ready?" I had to check myself, so I looked around and I thought to myself, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do this. I don't care. Let me just go ahead and take all of this off. I'll see y'all later. Get me off of this mountain. All of a sudden, fear had creeped in. It was about to take this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to glide along the canopy of Costa Rica's Monteverde. Fellow Toastmasters, I had to take a mental walk down memory lane on all the times I had fear before in the past and what I did about it. I thought about the fact that, Crystal, you flew to Costa Rica. Remember, you were afraid of flying. In fact, they told you had to fly months after 9/11 to none other than New York City. I had to fly to New York City for a dance competition, and I was afraid. However, I decided to get on that plane. Not only did I get on that plane, I flew to New York City. Not only did I fly to New York City, I killed that dance competition. You know why? Because action conquers fear. Then I thought about the fact that, Crystal, you are in Costa Rica speaking Spanish. You used to be afraid to speak Spanish. You thought that you were going to make mistakes and that you were going to sound stupid. And I did make mistakes and I did sound stupid, which is what happens sometimes when you learn a language. But I'm not afraid to make mistakes. You know why? Because action conquers fear. Then I thought to myself, Crystal, you joined Toastmasters. You were afraid of public speaking. Yes, it took you 6 years to join a club, but you actually joined. And not only did you join a club, you gave your icebreaker speech. You're not afraid of public speaking anymore, Crystal. Why are you not afraid? Because action conquers fear. At the top of that mountain, I snapped back in reality, looked at the tour guide, took another step forward and said, let's do this. Grabbed all of my equipment, put it on, and I went for it. And let me tell you, fellow Toastmasters, it was the most exhilarating experience that I have ever had. I felt so close to God as I was hanging hundreds of feet above the air while I was praying to God that the zip line wouldn't break. And it was amazing. I looked above and looked at the destination at the end of that zip line, seeing the beauty and the blessings of God awaiting me at the end of that destination. Fast forward to 2021, there are still times where I have to decide between action or fear. I just had the opportunity to take another nursing position as needed. My cousin is a nurse manager, and she told me that there is a position available for me at one of the local hospitals. My day job is being a business owner and working in a prison. However, this would give me an opportunity to make even more money to support my family and to hopefully have a wedding. I got married in the middle of a global pandemic, talking about fear here. So I decided I will take this position and told my cousin, let me know when it's going to start. Next few days, all of a sudden, what if I get COVID? What if I bring COVID to my family? What if? Fear. You may be asking, do I still wear a mask or do I not wear a mask? Do I get the vaccine or do I not get the vaccine? Fear. However, decisions have to be made. Your family, your colleagues, the next generation is waiting on you to make a decision. In fact, my daughter and my niece know that I am still afraid of those things called roaches. And I thought I saw one in the car one day. And my niece said, KK, you're just gonna have to conquer your fear and kill a roach. And then she turns to my daughter and said, and Cherish, you're just gonna have to conquer your fear and get on a plane. And then my daughter told her, well, Riri, you need to conquer your fear and ride a bike without training wheels. What my babies were trying to tell me and what Zipline already taught me is that action conquers fear. You have to look back in the past and all the times that you had fear and what you did about it. You have to speak life into what your situation is. Yes, I'm going to take that job. Yes, I'm newly married, and sometimes I'm afraid, are we really going to make it? But we are, because I'm going to speak life. I'm going to do the work I have to do as a wife. I'm going to do the work I have to do as a family member. And the last lesson, remember this, and you should know by now, fellow Toastmasters, action conquers fear. Contest share.
1 minute of silence, please. Thank you. My apologies. I was muted. Y'all can hear me now, though. Good? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we will move on. Third contestant, Travis Dent. Are you present in the room and able to see the time and hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Travis Dent, wipe away worries. Wipe away worries, Travis Dent.
There I stood, looking at my dream car and asking, how did this happen? Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and virtual friends. When was the last time you worried about something insignificant? Recently, I purchased my dream car, a silver BMW, and I love that car. Now, when I pull into an empty parking lot, I take up 2 spaces in the back to avoid parking next to other cars. And on weekends, I drive to the best car wash in town, and I get the ultimate wash. The ultimate wash gets me the wheel deal, protect and shine, and sealer wax, all for only $19.99. Now, if you were riding along with me one sunny Saturday morning in the passenger seat, you would have heard soulful sounds on the radio. You would have felt the warm sunshine through the sunroof, and you would have saw the look on my face when I pulled into my driveway, stepped out of the car, looked down, and saw a 7-inch scratch on my new car. I was livid. I called the car wash. This is Travis. I drive the silver BMW. I was just at your car wash, and when I got home, I saw that there's a 7-inch scratch on the door. Wait a minute, is this the Travis that gets the ultimate wash? I said, yes, it is. He said, I'm so sorry, Mr. Travis, you're gonna have to call back when the manager's here. Now, for the rest of that afternoon and into the night, all I could think about was that 7-inch scratch. Now, the next morning, they opened at 9 a.m. At 8:59, I was dialing the number. Hello, this is Travis. I drive the silver BMW. A different lady answers the phone. Wait a minute, is this the same Travis that gets the ultimate wash? I said, yes, it is. I explained the situation. She says, I'm sorry, Travis, but you're gonna have to call back when the manager's here. Okay, at this point, I feel as if they're giving me the runaround. So I decide that I'm going to drive down to the car wash to speak to someone in person. So as I'm walking out of my house, here comes my nosy neighbor, Joe. Now, Joe's an older guy in his 70s. He has gray hair and he walks with a slight limp. So Joe comes over and he says, hey, fella, I saw you out here looking at your car for 1 hour and 17 minutes. Is everything okay? I said, Joe, look at this scratch. Joe looks down at the scratch. He looks up and he says something very profound. That's a bad scratch. He says, wait here. So Joe walks over to his garage and he comes back carrying a spray bottle and a towel. Joe takes the spray bottle, sprays the scratch, and then he starts to wipe it in a circular motion. Now I'm thinking, what is this old man doing? So Joe keeps gently washing in a circular motion. He removes the towel and the scratch is gone. I said, Joe, how'd you do it? You fixed it. He said, that wasn't a scratch. That was just a watermark. Sometimes things look worse than they are. So there I stood, looking at my dream car and asking, how did this happen? A 7-inch watermark robbed me of my happiness and my peace. That day, I reflected on my life. And I realized that watermarks were there long before that day. Like when a high school educator told me, Travis, you shouldn't take college classes because you're not college material. Today, I'm a proud graduate of Savannah State University. You see, that educator's comments, just watermarks. I thought back to losing twice at the district level international speech contest and feeling as if maybe I didn't have the skills to advance to the next level. Then last year, I had the privilege and the honor of competing in the semifinals for the World Championship of Public Speaking. My own thoughts were just watermarks. When was the last time you worried about a watermark? Are you worried about a watermark right now? And is it worth sacrificing your health and your happiness? There's a Swedish proverb that says, worry often gives a small thing a big shadow. We cannot let the shadows of today block our happiness for tomorrow. Because I don't care what you drive on the road of life, we're all gonna get scratches. Those situations that require us to react and pay attention. But as for watermarks, we must identify them and wipe them away gently, just like Joe, so that we may experience the peace and the joy that makes life sweeter. Mr. Contest Chair.
One minute of silence, please.
One minute. That's 1 minute. Madam Contest Chair,
Thank
1
you.
minute has passed.
I apologize, having mute problems again. Fourth contestant, Charles Hawley, are you present in the room and able to see the time and hear me?
I am present in the room. I can see the time and I can hear you.
Thank you. Charles Hawley, donkey therapy. Donkey therapy, Charles Hawley.
Years ago, I lost someone who was very close to me, and I soon sank into deep depression. It was a very challenging time in my life. But in that painful place, I received much needed therapy. But surprisingly, the therapy did not come from a doctor. Rather, it came from a donkey. Yes, a donkey. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, There was an old donkey roaming around its owner's property when it suddenly fell into an abandoned well, plunging over 30 feet beneath the earth's surface and slamming on the cold, hard ground. Dazed and severely injured, the donkey managed to rise to his feet, cry out for help. Ooh, ooh. The owners heard his cry, came running to the well. They stood over it, peering down the dark hole, unable to see the donkey, but hearing its agonizing cries. They began to consult with one another. They said, the well is deep, and that old donkey is of no use to us now. Let's fill the well with dirt so we won't have to hear its terrible cries. They agreed. They grabbed shovels and began to shovel dirt down in the well, intending to bury the donkey alive. The dirt fell down the well, slamming on the donkey's back. The donkey, out of frustration, began to shake its body from side to side. And in the process, it discovered something amazing. When it shook its body, the dirt fell from its back onto the floor of the well, creating a perfect mound upon which to stand and climb higher. They shoveled more dirt. The donkey shook it off, stepped on top of it, climbed higher, and continued to repeat the process until he was close enough to the top of the well that the donkey jumped out and trotted off in the presence of the owners. Toastmasters, there is a lesson in this. The well is symbolic of the hard, tough times in our lives. They are the deaths, the heartaches, the pains. In fact, I call them well moments. Toastmasters, raise your hand if you've ever been in a well moment in your life. I have them, you have them, we all have them. Yes. I've fallen into a few wells in my lifetime. Yes, absolutely. I've fallen in a well of poverty. I was born the youngest of 17 children to dirt poor farmers. And there were many times when we did not know where our next meal would come from. But through hard work and perseverance, we came out. I fell in the well of racism. I was born during the height of the civil rights movement in the South. I was raised in a very prejudiced place, but I climbed out of that hole by learning to love and appreciate this Black skin I'm in. I fall in a well of low self-esteem. You see, since childhood, I've suffered from a severe speech problem, and I was terrified to speak in public. But through practice, time, and you guessed it, Toastmasters, as you can see, I'm out. Oh, but Toastmasters, the well that almost got me was the well of depression. Toastmaster, raise your hand if you've ever fallen into the well of depression. I see you. My story begins when I met this beautiful young woman in college. We fell in love, became married, and we had 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl. Oh, our little girl was a tiny pigtail, feisty little girl. In so much that at the age of 8, she chased down a schoolyard bully by the name of Tyler Pickle, wrestled him to the ground, and taught him a lesson the old-fashioned way. Oh, my son was not a fighter, he was a lover. He was a lover of life. A happy-go-lucky little boy who loved every moment of life. And at the tender age of 13, he was playing basketball in his middle school, running down the court, and all of a sudden, went into cardiac arrest, collapsed to the floor, and moments later died. His death plunged our family into the bottom of a well. Then came the dirt, the hopelessness, the despair, the heartache, the pain. Then came the therapy, the donkey therapy, the story I read online that changed my entire perspective on life. We learned in that well to cry together, to lean on one another, to dare to hope and dream again. And it was a long climb, but Toastmasters, we came out of that well. And from our greatest pain came our greatest purpose, to inspire people around the world. I want to leave you with a little donkey therapy. I have determined that no matter what bad comes in my life, that my destiny will not die at the bottom of a well, it will flourish on the top of a mountain. And Toastmaster, if you're in a well right now, I want to encourage you, don't give up. Don't stand still and get buried. Do like the donkey. Shake it off, step on it, and climb higher to your destiny. Mr. Contest Chair.
One minute of silence, please.
I'm gonna start the video. Should talk to you on the screen. It'll stay pinned. It's okay.
One minute.
Fifth contestant, Kaori Noma. Are you present in the room and able to see the time and hear me?
I can hear you and I can see the timer. Do I? Yes, we see. Perfect.
Kaori Noma, Island of Hope, Tears, and Chocolate Blizzard Treats. Island of Hope, Tears, and Chocolate Blizzard Treats. Kaori Noma.
When I was 22, I came to America for the first time all by myself to continue my education. It was the first time to leave my home country, Japan. It was the first time to even ride on the airplane. With the first experiences, my journey to America has begun. Contestant chair and fellow Toastmasters, this is my story. The story is about the early time of my American life. 4 days before leaving my town, my hands holding chopsticks, a spoon, toothbrush, and a pen were shaking. I was nervous, anxious, and scared. My parents were very worried about me. I have to show them my toughness and pretend to be fine. But my true feeling was scared. However, the fear didn't stop my journey because I paid $1,400 for the ticket. Non-refundable. No, I didn't want to waste the money. An airplane carrying 22-year young Carrie with one suitcase, a one-way ticket, and a lot of fear took off at Kansai Airport, Japan. After 13 hours of flight, The airplane landed on JFK Airport, New York. Oh, I couldn't wait to see what America looked like. I ran to the outside of the airport. It was beautiful, cloudy summer day. I looked up at the sky and said, "Welcome to America, Carrie." I don't know panties. あの島はまだ見えない。The song about the Ellis Island crossed my mind. Then I saw a police officer yelling at the big man, "Put your hands on the wall!" Welcome to True America, Carrie. That was day one in America and my debut in America. On day two, I finally arrived at the Penn State University. I checked in a school dorm. As soon as I saw the room, my face became the scream. I was shocked. I saw 6 roommates, 4 bunk beds, and 1 closet. The upper bunk and a tiny corner of the closet were my personal space. America had no privacy. I called my mom. "Hey, Mom. Oh, everything is fine here." Holding back my tears, I pretended to be fine. On that night, all I thought was my family, friends, and Japan. I missed them so much and cried in bed. On day 3, I was busy registering for classes, paying tuition, buying textbooks, and talking to my advisor. School started. I needed to study. America was super busy. And my fear had gone. However, I was still very homesick. I cried day and night. When I didn't understand what a teacher was talking about in English, I almost burst into tears, ran to the bathroom, and cried. When I didn't know how to order lunch at the cafe, I almost burst into tears, ran to the bathroom, and cried. When someone said hello to me, I almost burst into tears, ran to the bathroom, and cried. At night, I cried in bed. Island of tears. The first weekend came. My roommates took me downtown. They knew I was homesick and cried in bed every night. We went to Dairy Queen. I didn't know what it was. They told me Blizzard was good. I had no idea what it was. I ordered a small chocolate Blizzard. Again, small chocolate Blizzard. And I got an American small or huge cup of pile of ice cream with plenty of chocolate fudge on the top. I saw it, made sure, and thought, well, America is not that bad. Since then, I cried less and smiled more. The chocolate blizzard was not just the ice cream moment. It was the moment I opened up my heart to America. If I want America to accept me, I need to open up my mind to America first. If I want from you, I need to give you first. If I want you to love me, I need to open up my heart to you first and show you how much I love you. Since I realized this, my American life turned happier and more hopeful. Island of hope. When I have a hard time, I eat chocolate blizzard. and remember this story. The story is about the early time of my American life. Contestant chair.
1 minute of silence, please. 1 minute of silence, please. May we please have silence until all the ballots have been collected. Judges, proceed as you have been instructed by the Chief Judge. Waiting on the Chief Judge's signal.
Yeah, that's better. Madam Chief, Madam Contest Master, all votes have been counted.
Thank you. Now we're going to go through and interview the contestants in order. Please enable your video and audio during your turn. First, we have Crystal Ash. Can you hear me, Crystal?
You can unmute yourselves now.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Which club do you represent and how long have you been in Toastmasters?
Okay. I represent the Birmingham City Toastmasters, and I've been a part of Toastmasters for a little over a year now, so I'm fairly a newbie here.
Thank you. And you say you are inspired by young people. As a mother who has been terrorized by my kids throughout this entire call, I must ask why.
That's a great question, Beth. I'm inspired by young people because they're fearless. Like, they have no fear. I feel like as adults, we have to tell them, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. But they have this level of faith that, you know, we should all aspire to have to get things done. And they also see things a little differently when we do, because they haven't been here that long. So they're able to see the world with a whole new lens than we do.
Thank you so much, Crystal. We're actually having to cut the times a little bit short, so we're going to stick to just 2 questions. So next, Charles is going to interview the next person, Crystal.
Crystal Wilson. Crystal Wilson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, great to see you. You are a dancing, zip-lining nurse, but I understand you have a lot of interest in jazz, listening to jazz music. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I just love listening to jazz music. It's a way for me to relax and reset after a very long day. I am a nurse practitioner, so I see a lot of patients, and some of those patients are difficult to deal with. My day job is working in a prison, and then I'm also a business owner. But when I'm working in the prison, sometimes those patients are challenging, but I'm also trying to be a light to them as well. So when I listen to my music, it allows me to decompress and reset the day.
That's great. I'm so glad that helps you. And you and I need to connect because I volunteer in a prison myself. So you and I need to trade notes. Okay, Contest Master Beth, next interview.
Thank you very much, Travis Dent. Which club do you represent? How long have you been in Toastmasters?
Hello, I represent the Montgomery Toastmasters, and I've been in Toastmasters since 2013.
Thank you so much. I see that your favorite quote is one by Michael Jordan. I have failed over and over again. That is why I succeed. Tell me about some failures that have got you here to the District 77 International Competition.
I don't know if we have enough time to talk about my failures. But there have been several, you know, just competing in contests and not getting first place. Although you really don't view that as a failure, that's more a learning lesson because you grow from those experiences where you don't succeed. So.
Thank you very much, Mr. Travis, Toastmaster Travis. Please moving on to Charles McCauley for our next contestant.
Mr. Charles Holly, good to see you, sir. How long, what is your home club and how long have you been in Toastmasters?
My home club is High Noon in Huntsville, Alabama. I have been a Toastmaster for a little over a year. And Charles, you know I've got to do the cheer, don't you? The club cheer.
Do it.
Act dynamic and you'll be dynamic. Act dynamic and you'll be dynamic. Act dynamic and you'll be dynamic. Whoa!
Can I borrow that?
Yes.
I'll do it. One of your interests is reading books about history, historical books. Anything that jumps to the top of your mind is a favorite?
Absolutely. There's a book that's called This Far by Faith, and it talks about the history of Black people as their faith goes. And so it's a very, very interesting book, a whole lot of history nuggets in it. This Far by Faith, awesome book.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll put that on my list. I'm interested in that. Madam Contest Master Beth, the next interview.
Thank you. We will go on next to Kaori Noma. What club do you represent and how long have you been in Toastmasters?
I'm from Hilltopper, Mobile, Alabama. The number is 3232. I do remember this year. And I joined the Toastmaster as a member about more than 1.5 years.
Well, you listed your notable accomplishment as being you starting your own business. Tell us about your business.
I tried to start with a couple business. Somehow I really trying to do not just one, but I trying to do at least two. One is them selling the aging anti-supplements, and the other is a lab testing service agent. And both of them focus on the Japan and the US market.
Thank you so much. Contest judge or chief judge, are we ready to move on to the next step, or do we have any announcements at this point?
I'll chime in, contest master Beth. I want to recognize if our district director is here and listening. Does District Director Spillers have any comments as we wrap up this speech contest before we move to the results? I just wanted to give her the opportunity if she wanted to speak. If not, then Madam Chief Judge, are we ready to proceed?
I'm ready when you're ready.
I hear you. My final thanks is I want to thank you to Beth Hargrove for volunteering to be contest master for the international contest. Great job, Beth. Great job by Lawan, my humorous contest master, and just thank y'all so much for the support. It really does take a team. Thank you, Madam Chief Judge, too. That's a lot of work to do to get all the judges certified and everybody in order, getting timers, ballot counters, and I appreciate all the hard work that goes into something like this. But now, now comes the moment we have all been waiting for. I would like to announce that there were no time disqualifications at all. So everybody made their time qualifications. The 2021 District 77 International Speech Contest, where the first place winner advances and moves on to try to hit that world champion of public speaking. It's a great journey per our theme this year. I will now mention third place. Third place of the 2021 District 77 International Speech Contest. Third place goes to Crystal Ash. Good job, Crystal. Way to go. Awesome job in your speech today. In second place, 2021 District 77 International Speech Contest. Second place goes to Mr. Travis Dent. Good job, Travis. (2021) District 77 International Speech Contest first place. Proud to announce Charles Holly is first place for the speech contest of the International District Contest.
Woo!
Congratulations, Charles Holly. Crystal, Travis, Charles, great job. Way to place. Very excited for all of y'all, for everybody who participated.